How do you find time to work out? It is a question I got now after a video I published about a week ago, I believe, where I talk about biohacking and how working out is one of the best things you can do for yourself and for your health. So, how do you find time for it? People ask me this question because many or most people know that I own multiple businesses across different countries. I think we have operations in 17 countries at this point, and we make seven figures a year every year, and we've been doing that for I think over 6 years now. So that's a lot of work, and typically people will say, how can you do that? I can barely hold one job and do everything, or I can barely have one business and do everything. We can talk about management and how you can organize everything in business so that you don't need to actually be there. That's a different topic. You can ping me if you have questions around management, delegation, systems, processes, etc., and I'd love to help. If we look at the question itself of how do you find time to work out, I do three simple things. So number one, I use working out or moving or doing any form of activity as breaks. So let's say I work from 7 a.m. to 9 or 10, and then I take a break. When I take a break, then I can go for a walk, I can go to the gym, I can run, I can play some game, like basketball or football or whatever, etc., etc. So I can do something, I can do some form of an activity, and that typically is very, very helpful for me. So I highly recommend doing that as breaks. So whenever you have a break, even if you have a corporate job and you are at an office, when you take your lunch break, instead of sitting down on your lunch break, just gets like prepare your meal in a way, like especially if it's a sandwich, that's easy. But if you have a meal, put it in the box, prepare it in a way that you can walk around and stand whilst you're doing it. It's not the best thing you can do, but still it's you're in a good place if you add some more movement into your day. Number two is I combine my, let's say, active moments with friends and family. So for example, in most cases when I go for walks, it's with my wife, and I almost always invite her. In the mornings she's not with me because she sleeps an extra hour or so. So I typically wake up at 5 or 6, somewhere between 5 and 6. Then I either take a shower, or if I've had already taken a shower the night before, then I go for a walk. And then by the time I'm home, she typically wakes up, and then we engage in the day and so on and so forth. So other than that, I'm almost always with someone when I go for a walk. So what I do is, let's say someone says, hey, we haven't met in a while, let's hang out. So perfect. When do you want to hang out? And they say, Thursday at 6 p.m. Okay, do you want to go for a walk Thursday at 6 p.m.? And typically they'll say yes, right? So instead of going to a restaurant, instead of sitting, go for a walk with them, because time flies when you're having a conversation, when you're catching up with someone. I've had walks like this for 2-3 hours when I would talk with someone, and that you really don't feel it. After that, maybe you feel it a little bit, but during the walk, you don't, because you're enjoying the time. And then the final point is that as long as I engage in something I enjoy, I don't feel I need to dedicate too much time to it, because either way, sooner or later, you're going to want to spend some time alone, or you're going to need to detach from all of the responsibilities you have in life and so on. And so if it's an activity that you enjoy, like playing tennis or basketball, for me, again, tennis, basketball, I enjoy, and various other sports, when I engage in them, I don't feel like I'm dedicating time specifically to that. And I do it with friends. Again, I invite my friends and I socialize. So it's much easier if you find ways to incorporate fun and then incorporate other people, because social interactions you want to have regardless, either with your wife or with your children, right, or with your friends. So just include them in your activities, whether that's walking, Sorry about that. Whether that's walking or whether that's any types of sports or going to the gym together, things of that nature. Just do more of that, and then you'll see you'll be in a very, very good place. You'll, in terms of health, net positive like 100x from just sitting around on a couch or seats all day. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions around health, and I'd love to help. Thank you. See you. Bye.